Hey everybody, soybean farmer. What we're looking at is up on the top of the hill of the 5.5 acre field between my house and cousin Scott's house. This is hard ground. Got the red clay in it, and red clay pulled up with the subsoiler ripper. Made this ground really hard, but the rain that God put on it, as you can see, the beans have come up in it. So praise God for that. Um, I got the drone up a little bit higher and backed off a little bit, and down close to the bottom of the screen is mostly sand, good soil. And then we were just up there on that top of that hill looking at the red clay. And this view kind of gives me a view of, I've got what I'm going to call thin coverage as compared to previous years when I was putting out close to a bag and a half of seed to the acre. Now, the way this metered out this year was right at a bag to the acre. So I was saying, okay, it's going to be a little thinner. Something I picked up noticing right here is about every two passes of the planter, you see a wide strip start to show up. And there's more to that. I picked it up later in the video I shot. Now, all this was planted back on, let's see, May the 15th. And today I shot this video is June the 6th. So that's how much time you got. That corner down there is hard, got a lot of red clay in it. This corner is in the other field up by the highway. It's red clay, but I spotted for the first time today beans have made their way up through it. Very faint little rows in there. We got forecast or a good probability for rain here tomorrow, so that's going to help it a lot. And I was just, sitting there hovering over it, looking at it. It's now we start to get off that red clay and get into sand dirt mix. There's still a little bit of red clay in this, but you see the rows starting to appear a whole lot better. Still some what you'd call maybe missing plants. Maybe that's poor germination. But I'm coming up on something here right there. I'm like, wait a minute, that row spacing's too wide. What's going on here? And then it hit me what the problem was there. That's where I tried to, there's like a little L shape around this field. Maybe we can see it in other videos later. But that's where I miscalculated right there. And moving on along through here and start to see a little bit of weed pressure, but nothing I'm going to worry about. I planted a bean type this year that's going to let me use Liberty and glyphosate together. Add a little bit of prefix into it to get some residual out of it, so I'm not concerned about weeds. Probably 2 weeks away from him going out there spraying. But right there, I picked up another one. There's a wide row. In fact, I went back and stared at it for a minute and said, what's going on here? And then I looked down all the way to the other end of the field and realized, okay, that's where I had that catastrophe. The row marker went into the ground like a boat anchor. Now, what I picked up on here, and I'll explain what I was talking about, is a drive wheel. I had mentioned I had trouble with the drive wheels. The drive wheel's the packer wheel, and if you don't have enough down pressure on it, it don't turn. So that road that the words are on, you can see how poor the population is on that. And that's one of the rows where the drive wheel was not turning. There wasn't enough down pressure on it to keep it in contact with the soil so that it would turn. And you can see here's a big empty spot in that row. But, excuse me, back to that wide spacing. What happened, the row marker that was being used dug in like a boat anchor and brought me and the tractor to a dead standstill. It bent the arm, sent me to the shop to straighten it out and change things up a little bit. And I didn't catch the fact that it had pulled that row marker out of complete alignment. And I'm back over across the meadow strip in a different field looking at the wide space, and there's another one that you can see there. It's a little bit wider. And to move on across, things look fairly even, look fairly good. And coming over, it's like two passes side by side, not bad at all. And I'm coming up on another wide space right here, that one there. I said, okay, that's what happened. How many more of these am I going to have? And I went looking across the field, and sure enough, it yanked that row marker and got it off space where it was supposed to be. Now, over in this field, I was not using the GPS. I didn't even have it on the tractor. There's another row right there that's a little bit wide. And I was just going by the mechanical row markers. It's a mistake, my mistake. I'll take the ownership and the credit or blame, whichever. But this planter, whole new experience for me. A whole lot more to operating a planter. There's another wide one. I didn't flag it up, went back to it right there. I said, yeah, there's another wide one. And it looks like, from what I'm seeing, is that one side that got yanked was too long, because I could go down and turn around and follow the other row marker back, and you don't see the gap. But you go, what would be two passes, go down, come back, and sure enough, there it is again, the wide one. Now, I've seen people around here plant beans out on 28-inch wide rows, and they never did fully canopy, but they made a lot of beans because they had plenty of space to spread out. Last year, I had a catastrophe in the 6-acre field where the seed was in the ground too soon, cold, wet, super wet ground, and a lot of it didn't come up, and those bean plants were heavily spaced, way spaced out. But the plants bushed and made a tremendous amount of beans. So I'm thinking that was God giving me back something for the failure that was on my part. But you keep picking up these wide rows. There's another one. So I remember the day I finished planting, and I went over there and parked the planter, and when I saw Cousin Scott hooked to it, he kept stopping and adjusting stuff and stopping and adjusting stuff, and I was thinking, oh no, I broke the thing. And I finally got a chance to talk to him and ask him, what did I break? And he said, nothing, I was just OCD about it, and I wanted it right, so I kept adjusting it. Everybody, thanks a bunch for watching. This has been a look at the first two fields I planted. I misspoke. I actually planted them on the 16th. And shot this video today, this afternoon, when I got home on June the 6th. Thank you very much for being here. Thanks for watching. God bless each and every one of y'all. Bye now.